Hey everybody, what's going on? Star Trek is back for another Things and Stuff review. I hope you all have had a pleasant time of life and or existenceification since the last video. I've been very busy with working and commissions and my own projects that get stuck in the way because shiny object and I gotta make this ship for no reason, and then realize the fancy photo etch or resin add-on set comes out after I've already finished the one that I was a pain in the ass to light, and then complain about relentlessly that it didn't have those parts in the beginning and I could have just waited. But no, it gets in the way. Mobius USS Kelvin. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the ship that you saw in the title, the Constitution Mark III from Alternate Paradigms. Now, let me say that this might not be everyone's cup of tea. I know at first it wasn't mine, but then it really grew on me for some reason. I got this vision of either some 80s album artwork ship. There's one, I think it's the Meko album that has one that kind of looks like this but different. Here's a picture. Maybe I'm wrong and it's my vision of memory, but there are similar secondary hull kind of style. But this one's kind of neat. This is just a fan design by a guy who thought that after Star Trek 3, when the refit Enterprise was destroyed, he's like, I'm going to make my own. And he did. And it's just such an interesting, different design. And at first I was like, what? And then it grew on me. And now I have this vision of it either on the album cover or in some anime from the 80s or 90s. I don't know. It's just a thing. It doesn't make any sense. And yeah, that's all I got. But anyway, it's been fantastically recreated here by Multiverse Models and their sub thing of Alternate Paradigms. And that's where it's available. There's a link in the description below, as well as a link to the article on Cult TV Man where the designer of this talks about it and everything, and has some pictures of his full-size model, whatever one he kit bashed or made, scratch built, and all that. So yeah, but you can see these are the decal and paint guide instructions. Very simple. Pretty much everything's going to be in the decals, which is nice. These are the assembly instructions. Super simple. And let's check out the kit. And there it is. It's a little 2500 scale ship. You do get a little stand with an acrylic rod. There's the saucer section. Very plain, but that's going to be very nice for putting the decals, which is, like I said, where all the detail is. And it works perfectly. We'll show those in a minute. Here's the secondary hull. Kind of getting a little USS Vengeance vibe. I keep wondering, I mean, probably not, but you think about people getting inspired over the year, like somebody looking online and like, oh, look at that, and it's stuck in somebody's head. I guess eventually they would have thought, oh, what's something different? Oh, a rectangular secondary hull. Sure, whatever. However, I do want to point out these warp engines do look awfully familiar. I mean, maybe it's a stretch, but I'm just saying. Not that it's a bad design. I mean, this engine style, it's neat looking, but I'm just saying. It's very similar, which I guess technically these are the same scale, so obviously that's going to be in the comparison. Hopefully this is going to be a full build through, so you'll get to see it all finished up. But we got that. And I did have this together just for kicks, and then I pulled it apart for videography purposes. Here's the little neck area. And the beauty is, if you wanted to, you don't have to glue the saucer in. It'll just stay in. You could have it separate. Then we got our pylons, which is a nice one piece that's very well casted, so you don't have to worry about trying to get both pylons perfectly aligned. They're already in there. So yeah, let's get started. All right, and about 5 minutes later, I have it together. Didn't take me that long to put those on there. There's just a little bit of cleanup, pretty much what you would expect from a little resin kit. Just a little bit of flashing, but not, just basically what you'd expect. So yeah, it definitely has some interesting angles on it. And yeah, let's just go ahead and throw up the Classic Enterprise from the old 2500 scale. I realized somewhere my deflector dish fell out, so that could be a problem. No more deflection. And the refit, or whatever. So just an idea about comparisons, and then I realized I forgot to go ahead and show the decal sheets. So this is sheet 1 of 1, and everything's kind of in a blue-gray-ish paint scheme. I'm trying to remember, let's see. Let me look at the article again. I think this one's more accurate to the model the guy made, or the original creator, and then here's kind of a different color scheme you could use. It's a little more, I don't know, refit blue-ish. Not quite, well, you know what I mean. So it actually does come with different names and stuff. You could do the Columbia or Atlantis. And then the way he originally did it, he did the NCX 2701. But you could also do 1701 or 1981 or 2011 if you wanted to do a different shift and stuff like that. So there's plenty of options. Another cool thing, I'll throw some pictures up, and the link to this will have these as well. But there's a couple different variations of this, kind of a scout and a destroyer or battle cruiser, something like that. I'm not looking at it, but something like that. And then I think on Shapeways there's a bunch of conversion / alternate parts. You can make a dreadnought or a scout, like a 1-cell scout, or pretty much any combination you want to. So I think the options for this and its style are pretty much limitless. So I've just like a resin thing, you want to make sure you wash it with like Dawn or anti-grease type stuff to get rid of the mold release agent, which I already did. And now we're just about ready to get painting. I'm actually going to use a Scotch-Brite pad, one of the really fine ones, to make sure it gets nice, sticks down there really well. The paints I'm going to be using are, he's got it white. I think I'll do just a hair off-white, like a little, it'll be white, but with a little bit of gray, just so it's not stark white. That's just personal preference. You can paint it white if you want to. And I think there's just a couple areas, like I said, pretty much everything's decals. You've got your deflector dish. I think the impulse engines are on here. I think they're right there. The little impulse crystal things. You could option. Oh yeah, actually you get a whole bunch of options for various things, but in detail parts and stuff like that. Which this detail part kind of looks like this, whatever the sensor areas. My deflector antenna fell out. That's classy. I don't know, whatever these are. Where Michael Burnham comes out and they do the launch sequence that it's like a jetliner taking off for some reason, even though she's just going out in a jet suit, whatever. And like, here's another one that's kind of neat. He did, I think this is what it is on the ship, but then here it is with the TOS style, Bombay door type thing. So that's kind of fun. So definitely customizable and all that. So yeah, that, and then I think there's a couple areas of black. Well, they might be on the decals. This right here, I guess that's that. But you could also probably paint those on. Actually, those will probably fit okay. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, we're in the blathering part, so let's get to painting. First, I'm going to do the light white gray. Oakley dokley, and we're back. So I actually did go ahead and used Krylon white primer as a base, just because there's, in the casting, there's just a hint of the 3D print master, and I thought using the spray can primer would kind of get rid of that, and it did for the most part. And then I did spray it, airbrush it with the kind of slightly off-white, very, very, very light gray, white with a drop of gray in it, Tamiya. And then I did clear coat it with a Krylon gloss coat. So now it is time for decals, which I won't film because that would be more boring than this video already is. So you'd probably skip to the end and see what it looks like, and hopefully it looks good. Alright, and we're back with the finished ship. Let's see, after you saw it last, I guess I pretty much just put the decals on, which took a couple of hours, and then went back and just did a couple little paint things where the decals didn't get, like right here around the impulse engine, the little fins on the back. I think that was it, actually. I might have one other thing. I did kind of add a gray wash, which I should have taken a second glance at and cleaned that off. And, well, now it's under the flat coat, so I guess that's staying in. But, oh well. So, but other than that, I think it turned out all right. So yeah, this is like a super easy, quick build, weekend build. Heck, if you really worked at it, you probably wouldn't even need to really work at it, but you could probably do it in one day and have a nice little fun, something different little model of definitely a unique looking ship. And let's put some comparisons out. Like I said, this is 1/2500 scale, so now you can see it with the classic 2500 scale Enterprise and the refit. And well, close enough. An Excelsior. I don't have a 2500 scale regular Excelsior, so it definitely has some Excelsior influences in the, I don't know, kind of some of the angles, I guess. Sort of, it's hard to explain. But there's that. So we got that guy. And then, of course, the very coincidentally interesting nacelles on the Shenzhou. Sort of. Just something kind of interesting. Got that guy. And because I made the comparison earlier, there's the Vengeance from Star Trek into Porkness or whatever it is. So I guess it's mostly just that secondary hull, but well, I guess that neck is kind of similar. Ah, hey, this isn't San Francisco, Vengeance. It's a photo thing. You're gonna crash right into the photo booth. The thing that's the mat. Yeah, that's what it's called. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. That's the hallmark ornament. It's the one I had sitting there. Anyway, and then whoa, hold on there, Joe. You calm down. That what happens when I don't bother gluing them down. But it's all good. So, and then just for ease, I just sprayed it matte black with some paint and then used the rod. It's not actually drilled when it comes. I just did it that way so you can put it wherever you want to. And I just had it tip up just a little bit. So yeah, which makes it a little actually unbalanced. But just because there's so much saucer, so I probably should have drilled it a little more forward, you know. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so that is the Constitution Class Mark III kit from Alternate Paradigms, available from Multiverse Models. Like I said, there'll be description or links in the description, plus an article on its conception and all that. But thank you guys for enduring this video, and I hope it has inspired you to pick one up or whatever, something like that. Maybe at least check them out and see if there's other interesting things on there. So until next time, when we'll have, I got a stash that I've been meaning to do of all sorts of different things, so we'll get back to that here at some point. And that's all for me today, so you guys take care, and content and or pleasurable modeling, and